What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Destiny 2 Forsaken review video. Today I'll be going over the new Nightstalker subclass, the Spectral Blades / Way of the Wraith. Now, how to obtain the new subclass is you need a Seed of Light to unlock a new Forsaken super, which can be any of them. So you can get it from multiple sources, right? So there's a milestone / quest from Ikora during the Forsaken campaign you can get. Blind Well Tier 2 or higher completions, that's an RNG drop. The Last Wish raid, which is an RNG drop as well. Or you can get it from visiting Marasov at the Queen's Court on the highest curse weeks. Let's go over the perk description. So it comes with Spectral Blades. Summon a pair of Deadly Void Blades and stalk the battlefield in a Veil of Shadow. So press your, what would be, I would say, your melee button to perform a quick melee attack, and then press your trigger button to perform a heavy attack and once again vanish from sight. Melee wise, we have Corrosive Smoke. Throw a smoke bomb from a distance with this melee ability. The smoke bomb slows enemies and damages them over time. Then we have Flawless Execution. While crouched, precision kills grant invisibility, true sight, and increased melee range. Then we have Shattering Strike as its last perk. After performing a Flawless Execution, your melee attacks weaken enemies. Going over my thoughts on the perks. So first up, Spectral Blades. This basically turns you into Blade Dancer from Destiny 1, except you also get invisibility and wall hacks to see all of your opponents. It's been improved since Season 4, so it has better hit registration and accuracy now. I'm sorry this review was technically a little late, but I did want to actually review it when it was good, if that makes sense. Next up for the melee, Corrosive Smoke. This is like the OG Destiny 1 melee attack where it would deal some damage over time and slow down your enemies, so it's basically like the one from Destiny 1. Next, Flawless Execution. This perk serves three purposes, right? So whenever you get a headshot while crouched, you have to be crouched, by the way, you go invisible, which is sick, gain True Sight, which is the wall hacks perk, and an increased melee lunge range, which would be good for cleaning up some of those kills, right? Lastly, we have Shattering Strike. Once you perform that Flawless Execution, your melee puts on a damage debuff. I'm pretty sure it's a debuff or buff. I'm not 100% sure. So this is essentially the Spectral Blades version of a Hammer Titan melting point. So you can do more damage. And the perk lasts until Flawless Execution is over, which is pretty cool. So you can do this while you are visible as long as you still have Flawless Execution active. Going over PvE and the PvE side of Gambit, in my opinion, it's not extremely useful. I think the only thing that you can benefit, like, especially in a team environment, is putting on Shattering Strike, that debuff on a boss, be able to do a lot more DPS. Plus, the cool thing is that with Melting Point, you have to let your melee cooldown. With this, all you need to do is have Flawless Execution active, which you can do at any time. There's no cooldown for that. So the super can take out a bunch of smaller tier adds, but it's not as powerful or useful as the Arc Shredder with Raid and Flux or a Blade Barrage with, like, Shards of Galanor, right? Corrosive Smoke is basically like every other smoke, essentially, so don't really worry about it. Flawless Execution isn't bad, but the only thing it's really useful for, again, is to put on the Shattering Strike, right? On those higher tier enemies, your team does more DPS, you do more DPS, right? So you don't need to see all the PvE adds through walls, because that's pointless considering you're heading right for them anyway. So what's the point of being able to, like, see them? Like, I understand if you want to be invisible, like, that's cool. I definitely like that stealth gameplay. That's pretty interesting, but in Destiny right now, it's not extremely useful. So even in Gambit, taking out a bunch of PvE adds with a super and taking minimal damage while having Flawless Execution active. But again, Shattering Strike is the most viable perk to allow those extra damage against high value targets, some blockers, and even the Primeval. I would say if you want to have a PvE build, have Gwiz Vest, because it will extend your super a long time. Going over the Crucible and the PvP side of Gambit, in my opinion, this subclass was made for the Crucible, right? Being able to have wall hacks when you get a headshot while crouched and when you're using your super can give not only you a lot of information, like useful information, but also your team, especially if you're in communication with each other. The only perk that isn't that viable, in my opinion, would be Shattering Strike, because you don't need to add that debuff. Like, nobody really uses Melting Point on a enemy guardian and proceeds to shoot him because it's going to kill him in one hit anyway. Like, Shattering Strike really doesn't matter. So Flawless Execution is the main perk that makes this subclass insane. Go invisible in headshots while crouched is insane. Especially if you have a shotgun, like, to push up afterwards, they won't even see you coming. You'll be able to see where all the enemies are, and you get an increased range when the perk is active, which includes when you're visible. It's so weird because when you initially read the subclass, you'd think it's more of a distance build, especially with things like scout rifles, snipers, bows, and linear fusions, because it's more catered toward people hitting headshots, but the super is supposed to be used in close quarters combat engagements, right? So an aggressive build can add more synergy to your gameplay. If you want to do sniping, I definitely want to test it out, but still, I think it's more of not a rushing super, obviously more of a close quarter super. Weapons like hand cannons and pulse rifles are super effective as primaries, plus you could pair it with a slug shotgun, which is awesome, which is good for being aggressive, and you can still proc flawless execution because you have to hit headshots to one-hit kill versus using a buckshot shotgun. That's just a weird word. Even in Gambit, it can perform well on that PvP side. You just need to make sure you're not spotted or caught off guard, because once they see you, like almost any other super or power weapon can take you out fairly easily, especially if they're using linear fusions from a distance. Like, you definitely want to make sure that you can get up close to them without them noticing. Going over some useful exotics and perks, some exotic weapons that would pair well would be primaries like hand cannons and pulses, just because they hit headshots easily and have good time to kills. But some other weapons to choose from would be things like chaperone, considering it is a slug shotgun, and its perks are great, right? You get that first headshot and your next one has more range and damage, so it's pretty good. Or you can do something like Queenbreaker. In my opinion, it's the best linear fusion because of its charge time and target acquisition it allows for. So I know I used this on Way of the Wraith before. I didn't have any footage of it recorded, but still, it is pretty sick. Some exotic armor that would make this effective would be, number one, Graviton Forfeit. I'm going to say Graviton Lance. That is not an exotic armor. Essentially, the Graviton Forfeit, it extends your flawless execution from 9 to 13 seconds, so you can stay invisible longer and see your enemies through walls longer, which is pretty good. Or you can go with the best OP exotic, which I just got. It is the Gwizm Vest. I'll be dropping that review as well, which extends the duration of your super and can potentially last for like a minute or so, like if you use it properly. Like Gwizm Vest, pairing it with the Spectral Blades in Crucible, I was literally able to walk on one side of the map, take out the enemy team, and then run to the other side of the map, and then take them out again. I think obviously Gwizm Vest is probably going to get a nerf, obviously, but still, it is still an insane exotic. So just going over my final thoughts, overall this is one of the better PvP supers that has come into Forsaken. Its team capabilities and potential for a really long super are going to be super broken. And again, they're probably going to nerf it just a little bit. Right now, Spectral Blades with the recent update can hit from like a mile away. So I feel like they're going to retune that, bring it back just a little bit. And then they're going to obviously nerf Gwizm Vest because the perk is still activating when you didn't get a kill. So I don't know if that's the intention, but still, I really like Spectral Blades. Now that we're at the end of the video, there's 3 things that I'd like to tell you guys. So number 1, if you're looking to join a clan on Xbox, PS4, or PC, the D1 Fire Team, which is the clan that I run, is looking for active players who want to grind the endgame content, knock out some triumphs, etc., etc. If you and your clan want the benefits of a bigger clan, you can apply to join with the link in the description. It'll say clan link. We'll review your account essentially, and we'll see if you'll fit into the clan. And if you have any questions, you can send me a message on any of my social media links below as well. If you're in a small clan with your friends and like you want, again, the benefits of a bigger clan, you can come right on over. Number 2, if you want to help support me, there'll be a link below, say best way to support me. That'll take you to a 4-minute video. If you want to go check that out, that'd be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you can always like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell next to subscribe. Share this video and then comment what y'all want to see below. Third thing, if you want to join the Discord, there are no requirements to join. Plus, we're looking for people who actually have moderator experience to take over the Discord. Like, I'm more of a player, not a manager, so if you like doing that stuff, awesome. We have some text chats, obviously, about Destiny 2 Forsaken and some other upcoming games like Division 2 and Anthem. Plus, we have some voice chats as well. I know for myself, I'm on Xbox, so I can talk to everyone on there. But if you're on PS4 or PC and want to chat, Discord is going to be the best way to do that. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you next time.